Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're teaching Sienna walking. We're going to teach her heel. And so what we're going to do here, we're starting out with a few different movements. When I first start this out, because we've been working with her for the majority of the session here on this, so she's doing a little bit better than when we first started. But we want to start with our about turns. So because Sienna is on your left, our about turns are to our right. The whole point of the about turn is to put slack back into the leash so we can actually reinforce her more for correct positioning. You can eventually use it like as a form of correction, kind of like a check-in, but that's not what we're doing at this moment for it. So it's to put her back in position. When we are doing a turn that goes into her, so turning left, this is what I call a boundary turn, and I'm using this to create my body as essentially a moving boundary, and we use it in the same ways that I teach the door, right? So if she starts trying to go past me, right, so that door can shut. And when you do this, it's gonna back her off a little bit. When she backs off, then we can start going forward again, okay? And I can actually create slack this way too. When I'm marking and rewarding, there's a couple ways that we can do this. When you're doing this with her, I think it works best if you were to drop it from your left, so she's not trying to crab you and go in front. I'm doing this where I'm coming across my body, making a fist with my hand, lowering it and dropping it. So this way my reward placement is super accurate, and is where I want her to be, right? If she goes off to any side, I'm simply just gonna do leash pressure or a correction, so a little tap of the leash, based off her intensity. Like if she were flying, go smell something, that's me a correction. If she's just kind of moseying over there, I'll just do leash pressure. So I'm gonna base off what she's doing. So let's start to piece this together. We're gonna add the word heel when she's at a stop, and ideally want her to look at me. And I'll just manufacture this. Sienna, heel. Now we start going. So she's looking good here. She's in the slack. So I can say, good. Treat to nose, drop it to the floor. And now I can stay astride in front of her because of how I dropped that. Good. Treat to nose, drop it to the floor. And she's doing really well, so she may not give me a whole lot of opportunity to show you some other things, but we'll just kind of, make it up as we go along. So let's say, for example, she were to go like far out, and I'm going to manufacture this, so I don't think she's going to do this. If I toss a piece of food, now you see I create this slack. In this slack, good. Now I pay her. Let's do that one again. She might do this one on her own. Checking back in. Good. See how she found me again? I can actually mark and reward that. So she was a little ahead. I let her adjust and she found me again, which is really cool. So I'm going to toss one purposely in front of her for video purposes to create this. Toss it. Turn. Here's our slack. Good. We reward in that slack. When I'm creating a boundary, so I'm going to do this again where I'm going to toss it. The boundary, you want to try to catch her sooner, and I definitely when her head or neck gets in front of you, you can do it. Shoulders, you could still do it, but if she's further than shoulders, it's not really wise to do it. It just doesn't work super well. Let me say, if I go to toss her, get in front of her, back her off. Heel. Corrections off to the side. Do the same here, so the food is right there. We're gonna walk by it. Little corrections. Good. Now, the reason I do that, and I'm not even marking this, she's in a heel. So heel for me means no sniffing, no going to the bathroom. I want you focused and moving forward. Right? So we don't want her sniffing anyways, so that one is just a correction. It's not a leave it, it's not a no, nothing like that. If you start sniffing, going from the thing, we're gonna do a little correction. Right here, she's getting something that she was trying to get at finishing up.
So if we're walking and she wants to go and smell the fire hydrant or go for a stick or something.
So let's say she wants to smell that. Okay. So what I would do, I would walk up to it, can go for an automatic sit. Good. Break. Now, in that break, allow her to go smell. So the smelling is the reward. Going to the bathroom is the reward for healing. Shh. Okay. So you would actually be using that fire hydrant as the reward. Now, of course, we let our dogs go to the bathroom on the walk. We just don't let them do it when they are in heel command. If you do that, you're going to totally degrade your heel command, and they'll just be like, it's going to be just nonsense. Where I can sniff, I can pull, I can go to the bathroom, and that's everything but healing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I always heard when people are, you know, dogs out of control and they're pulling them, they're like, heel, heel, you know, so that's not right.
It's not how I turn it.
Right. No, I don't want to have to do that. Like, I don't want to.
Good. It's right there. I'm controlling energy as he passed. Good. And so, I can reward that change.
The word heel is used when she is walking very well.
Yeah, so I actually use it typically at my stops or at my turns. So let's say if she was going like in front of us for this left, right here, heel, she catches back up.
Okay.
So if I was doing those turns away from her, my about turns, I could be saying heel there. I frequently like to add it though, once they get a nice auto sit, heel. And the reward for that auto sit is going forward. So always remember functional rewards. Like when she is healing well, so even like if I don't get an auto sit, but say I want her to go like sniff over here, she's healing well, I can just go break, and then just allow her to go. So I'm reinforcing that healing by giving her the opportunity to go be free and go be a dog, smell and do all that type of stuff. But she's gonna do that on my clock. She's not gonna do it whenever she wants to do it and yank me side to side and here and there, right? Then that is gonna be so confusing for a dog to understand what is heel,
yeah,
and what is pulling. And if you start to allow all these things, it's just gonna degrade your heel.
Well, I've been taking her outside on leash to go potty only because it's so muddy, and she starts getting into trouble and won't come to me when I call her. So I keep her on leash, and so that will work in the backyard too, because she'll just sometimes she starts bucking and everything and starts trying to chew the leash. And
squirt bottle and pocket for that. Every time she chews it, squirt bottle.
Right.
It's hard to correct her with a leash if the leash is in her mouth.
Yeah. So
you'd want a secondary correction, bonker or squirt bottle for that, because she doesn't care about the compressed air anyways, and then she cares actually more about the squirt bottle on a mist than she does a jet.
Okay.
So and you could add the squirt bottle to that turn too to claim more space. She's not showing me she needs it right now, so I'm just not. What else was I gonna tell you here? Oh, the pottying. So when you take her outside to go to the bathroom, you have two options. One, you can alleviate that tension with your about turns if you don't mind spinning around. So if she's like trying to go to the bathroom, we're not in a heel. This is what I call let's go, right? So she's just on like break or just like kind of a general like following behavior. But she's on leash, so she still can't pull. You can give her more leash, and your options are, let's give her a little bit more leash. Your options are red light, green light, which means she puts tension on the leash. I'm gonna rock backwards. That's red light. So every time she pulls, I stop. When she gives me a little attention and settles down, I'm gonna give her more leash. And let's go means she can sniff and smell and everything like that.
Right, right.
So she's a little ahead here. Right there, she goes to pull with a red light. Let's go. So in this one, she can smell. You can even pick up little pieces of food and keep it. But she just can't play. Now we're going to go back to our heel. That answered your question, right?
Yeah.
You could do the turnarounds there too, right? That would also work, but if you don't want to turn so much, just do red light, green light. Heel.
Yeah, because she has a few spots where she goes to the bathroom, so sometimes she just goes immediately and then other times she wants to just fuck off.
We should have gotten a before and after.
Yeah, no kidding.
She popped in here so
I think she's tired.
That could be part of it, but she's doing really well. Like, Even after like 5 minutes of walking with me, she was doing so much better. Good. Let's actually hang out right here, and we're going to get people moving by her, and we'll talk about how to address that. She does really good with that SH marker, by the way. You can actually tell she de-escalates with that. So I would use it. With this, give her like a bubble to be in. You can get in front of her, or you can have it like this. But as soon as she's paying too much attention to someone, or definitely if she starts jumping, that's going to do that SH marker, and your correction is going to be even or downwards a little bit. Good. You can reward what you want. So I'm going to mark and reward as she's more low-key. It's like the best place ever to run. Yeah, she's already super focused. Like, I don't necessarily like that too much.
Now she's behaving perfectly. See, it's the box. She's freaking out about the box.
Is that making sense what we're doing though? So like if you see her fixating, we know that that fixation is going to lead to wild behavior.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her right there. So that's why I'm going to do the correction. So she never even got to the point of jumping because I was right there to get that before she started. Good. And then of course I'm paying her for what I want her to be doing. So as she's just hanging out by me, that's when she's getting paid. And ultimately we want our dogs to care more about us than everything existential in the world, right? So let's go ahead and pause there.